Hello, loved ones. This is Matt Stevens, and I hope you are doing fantastic. I certainly am. I try to keep it that way. And I wanted to start out with, well, just a little disclaimer in that there's a lot of people out there who claim to have all the answers, and if they do, and if they're very close minded to the point where they get very defensive and even combative if someone challenges them or proposes anything different, then just be very skeptical of those people. That's all. So, yeah, because my point is, I don't claim to have the answers. I hope, I claim to be on the path of finding the answers. Hence the title I've given myself of seeker, which, no, that's not original to me. Lots of people are seekers. It's spiritual seeker, all that. But anyway, so just a little public service announcement there, loved one. Anyway, I hope you're doing fantastically well. Please give this video a like. I would really appreciate it. It helps the algorithm, helps the channel grow and reach more people. And if you have not subscribed, please do that as well. I would really appreciate it. But I wanted to talk a little bit about how people are waking up. Meaning, in humanity, in the world, in the collective, there are lots of people who are waking up to the truth, to spirituality, to our true purpose, and how reality and how creation and how everything to do with this construct and outside of it truly is. And while we inside this construct, we're the masses are kept asleep, and so that we can continue to be, as I say, good humans, where we produce, consume, obey. Produce, consume, obey, right? Be a good human. And the controllers need it that way so that we can continue to keep things going for them. And it's like, well, if so many people in the collective are waking up, well, then wouldn't the controllers, wouldn't they have a problem with that? No, I think they don't care. It's like, well, why would they not care? Well, for one, because while the numbers of people waking up are growing a lot, it's still not that much. Because, like before, if 1% of the population, and I don't know, I'm making this up, hypothetical numbers, but if 1% had been waking up at a time, and now it's 10%, it's like, yeah, that's a lot more, 10 times more. But it's still not that much. You still got 90% asleep at the wheel, producing and consuming and obeying, right? So it's like, it's still not that much. But I also believe that if that were true, it's like, well, the controllers don't care, and why would that be? Because they know it doesn't matter. They know it does not matter if people are waking up. And then that asks another question. Well, why would they not care? Because doesn't that threaten to disrupt their system? Well, I think that they don't care because, for one, it's not that many anyway, and two, they know what's coming. Oh, no, you just went down you just brought up conspiracy, didn't you, Matt? Well, yeah, kind of. Kind of. That's okay. Well, it's like, what? They know what's coming. Well, what does that mean? Well, it could mean a few things. One, maybe there's a complete and total societal reset. As in, everything just stops. We all just cease, and it just, like a reboot. Yes, exactly that. Like in the Judeo-Christian Bible, in Genesis, in Genesis, hello. In Genesis, it talks about, it's like a creation story. If you really break it down, Genesis is a creation story, yes, but if you stop and look at it from a different perspective, if you look at it as a reset story instead, it makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways. And there are clues. For example, it said that God created man, blessed them, and told them to be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. And most people have heard that. But what people kind of gloss over is the replenish the earth part. Well, the word replenish means to restock or to make it whole again, to refill. It's like, well, if I'm replenishing the earth, then that means that it had something before. It's like, yes. So that's not really a creation story at all. That's a reset story. That means that there was something going on here before. For whatever reason, it stopped. And now it's getting booted back up like a reset. And here we are replenishing the earth. So what I'm getting at is the controllers, the powers that be, may know that maybe it's cyclical, or maybe there comes to be some critical mass or whatever. They know it's inevitable. They know it's going to happen and maybe soon. And therefore, all the people waking up, whatever, the reset's about to happen anyway. There's that. And then there's also, there's a possibility that they know that there could be a societal realignment coming. It's like, well, what does that mean? Well, a societal realignment, like I'm reminded of Ronald Reagan when he gave his famous speech to the UN, where he said that he often thinks about how quickly all of us on Earth would put aside our differences and unite and work together as one world to, if we were faced with some alien threat. Those are his words. That's not something I'm just paraphrasing. I am paraphrasing. That's not a direct quote, but he did say some outside alien threat, and how quickly we would do that. And now we see the Pentagon is releasing UFO videos with the Tic Tac and the gimbal and the Go Fast and all of those videos. And then we also see all of these new videos with all the drones, and nobody knows where they're coming from. They're very advanced and all of that. And then the fogs that are taking over the world and making people sick and this and that. It's as if things are ramping up, which then leads me to Project Bluebeam. Project Bluebeam is, in the conspiracy theory circles, they say that the elites of the world, the controllers, have technology that is far more advanced than we, the lowly public, are aware of. And that Project Bluebeam suggests that they would stage a false flag event, meaning they can produce holograms in the sky and with the 24-hour news media cause mass hysteria, saying basically that we are being invaded by an alien race from space. Space aliens. Yeah. So, I know it sounds ridiculous because it is. Anyway, but they may know that there's some societal realignment coming, and that the world is going to band together. So those of us who are waking up, those who are truthers, those of us who are seekers, whatever. It doesn't matter, because all of this is about to happen, and the whole world is going to band together to fight this alien threat. It's just another thought, just another thinking reason why we would think, well, that's why the elites wouldn't care, because they know that there is something like that coming down the pike. I mean, there is something coming there. All this 24-hour news media where there all these UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena, and now they've got NHI. It's another term that's being thrown around in the news a lot. That stands for non-human intelligence. It's like, yeah, they're ramping up to something. But is it real? That's the question. Probably not. So what can we do? We can't change what's happening. We can't change what's coming. We can't change what's happening. None of that. The world is going on the trajectory that it's on. The collective, the human collective, and the world is on the trajectory that it's on, and that's pretty much that. So what can we do? Well, we can't do anything about that. But there's lots that we can do as individuals, as an individual seeker, as yourself and for yourself and by yourself. See, I've often recommended we detach our single unit of consciousness, our divine spark, from that of the collective. Because the collective is pretty much one consciousness, made up of billions, but nonetheless it moves as one unit. But those of us who have woken up to the fact that I am a divine spark of the one true creator, those of us who are waking up to that, we can detach ourselves from that and go on a separate trajectory, a separate reality. That is what we can do. And if the world ends and these avatars perish, okay, so we move on to the next adventure. That's okay. That's okay. So what we can do is we can realize our individual power and resist these psyops, all these scare tactics by governments, by the news media, by everybody. So many psyops. In fact, the word psyop itself has become a psyop. The word psyop is now a psyop. Because now you're seeing all over the place how to spot psyops and how to blah, blah, blah. Or that's a psyop. I'm like, you using the word psyop as a psyop. Jeez. Kind of is. So anyway, we need to resist all those political scare tactics like the patriot movement. If you don't do this, then you're not a patriot. I mean, no, if I don't do that, that means I might not be like you, but that doesn't mean whatever. Or the environmental scare tactics. Those are good ones too. Yeah. Yeah, you got people saying that if we don't reverse course now, we're gonna flood the world. We're gonna melt the ice caps and flood the world and blah 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 and this and that, whatever. Meanwhile, those same people are buying beach houses. Really? That's probably not what you would do if you really believed that. But anyway, whatever. So I revert back to or to what I've said before. I'm going to double down, maybe even triple down, on claiming your individual sovereignty, claiming your individual self, and say, I'm going to detach from that. So whatever path they're on, that's cool. They can do it. But I am going on this path. I'm going to create this reality, and it's going to be a lot better because what they're doing ain't that great anyway, right? Anyway, there we go. I've talked about that many times. So anyway, loved ones, please give me a like on this video and share it with someone if you think they should hear it or would like to hear it or whatever. I would really appreciate that all of those things help the algorithm and help spread the message, help the channel grow. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. I would so appreciate it if you would do that too. And yeah, I appreciate you. And that's what I got. I love you. I do. And I will be back directly.